however you got it out. This is from a stationary attacker, right?
Yes.
They're not charging you guys, right? And you do some sort of you can either start out like we mentioned before. You could start out with it in your hand. It's hidden, and then just drop it over the head, and then
in one smooth motion. It should just be like you just pow, you drop it, and it comes out already.
And you can also keep going. You can keep going over the head. You can switch directions now.
Yes.
Depending on where people are. So that's one attacker. So if you've got multiple attackers, let's say, and you are able to sneak in and get one out of the way, or one started coming at you, just one step back, you can use your figure eight to actually advance on them. So it looks something like this. I just want you to get the feel of it, because you'll know what your audience is going to get the feel of, because that's what the attacker's going to get the feel of. So let's say that the guy was right here, you're the second guy maybe. So you attack him.
Whoa,
and then you see that and you're like, whoa, there's something coming.
There's something, just like a flash.
Yeah, so they're like
a flash of a little thing. You don't know
especially if it's if it's a silver chain. Black chain, all they hear is something, and they're like, they can't connect with.
Because it's moving faster than they can actually see.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
So they won't see the lights and thing.
Yes.
So if it is a dark color, that's going to also impact how you may employ the tool. So let's, from this side, maybe, have you do a couple of forward and back. What I'd like you to do.
Okay.
So you'll step forward. I want you to go over the head. So you're striking.
Yep.
And then go into maybe a figure eight forward, right?
Yeah. While knowing I'm advancing on multiple people.
Yeah. So there's multiple people. Now let's say you want to back off for some reason, and you're already in this. Okay.
Yes.
We'll take that the next step. First step, attack, and come forward, and you're going to be taking an offensive position by coming with the overhead step and then going to the figure eight.
Okay, got it.
So. Okay. That's good. All right, let's do it.
I'm thinking so much about this, but I'm not thinking about the follow-up move.
Right. So always think of, that's why you're throwing it with your leg, not your arm, right? Throw with the leg. It comes over, so you stop stationary, and then let it go, and then start with your figure eight. Okay. Just do it without this first.
Okay.
Just knowing that there's something in front of you.
Okay.
Now, let's go together. Let's see if I can do it over here far enough away.
I think I have to.
I'm going to choke up.
I think I'll have to, boom. Because what's happening is like when it's coming back into a figure eight, like I think it's, I think it's like, it's coming.
Okay, let's work on this together. Let's work on this together then. So start from natural. We'll just call this natural, right? Okay, so you have like drop one end. Okay, so what's going to happen is when you step forward, can you remember how we were doing the bump thing? That forward is going to go, I want that arc going across. Remember how we were doing?
Target the temple. Right?
Yeah, so remember how we were arcing going downwards to get behind the foot, right? Right, not straight down, it was a target arc.
Yes.
You're going to use that same kind of arc but go across, so it'll naturally. So take.
See what I'm saying? Like when it comes back, comes back almost horizontally.
Yeah. So you're gonna try to go turn your hand this way. So. So your strike will actually be there. Your hand is going to be. So it'll be. This.
Oh, okay. So it's actually not. You're not trying to come in. It's not trying to make a figure eight this way. You're actually. You're striking them, and then coming around you. Then you can actually come this way.
Let me see where I start. Let's see. So it's a figure eight. Starts here.
Ah, okay. It doesn't come immediately.
So I'm striking. I've got a target. Yeah, so let me try to break this down. It's hard to do because it's moving, but the first part is a strike.
Right.
It's that.
And then it comes above. Almost.
Yes.
It's almost like it's like a...
And then you can start. Right.
Got
so
it.
let it go, whoop, and do a,
Got it.
Actually, let's just do that a couple times.
Okay.
So we'll do forward and backwards. Just go up and over and down. Up and over. And then as soon as it comes around, so make it go around over your head, and then start your figure 8 forward.
1, 2.
There you go.
Okay.
All right, now try to also keep your hand as stationary as possible. It's not really possible to keep it entirely stationary.
Yeah.
But if you get it going like this and that, you get disconnected from the end.
Got it.
If you're in the middle, as much as possible, it's more your wrists moving, right? So let's just try this first. So let's just step forward with a figure 8, right? And then backwards with a figure 8. Yeah?
So you're actually trying to get it as close as possible.
And try not to. It's going to be different with that.
Try not to like slip it around.
Yeah, try not to move it as much as possible. Just keep it as close. Remember how we were doing with the bow?
Got it.
It was like that scoop. Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So now let's just try to do overhead. Let's just do overhead, and then we'll put it together. So you come over, and then keep it up over first.
Okay.
Go forwards and backwards, over. Yeah, there you go. Very nice with keeping your hand as much stationary as possible. Okay, now from here, as it comes around, drop your hand down. So then start your Then start your.
Okay. So we're coming from home.
Something I would think might help, Chen, is video yourself doing the arm, the figure 8, because you're putting your arm way out here.
Okay.
And I'm suggesting it stay as close to your body, like not leave your shoulder at all. If you could keep it just right there without hitting yourself, the better, because you'll get more control out of it.
Yeah, because I'm used to using that whip chain where it's like very.
Yeah, it's not a whip chain. This is not a whip chain. It doesn't have the same. You don't control it the same because it's got a longer distance.
Right.
This close and having the weight, which the whip chain doesn't have, that becomes a new nuisance to you, right? So you have to now stop and try to control it by controlling your, controlling your arm distance. And this is only going to come through time, doing it over time. But do it with a rope one. Get yourself a rope one before you engage with the steel one for this very fast. If you do it slow like that, you'll get feeling it better. Okay, so now let's take the spin overhead, and we're going to combine it with the figure 8. So just watch first, and I'll do it one time, and then we'll do it together. So when you step forward, turn your back to there you go, the back of your hand, so that it comes over the head, and then just like that, right? Okay, there you go. So what happens is when you start the figure 8, it'll be first you strike, and then comes down, and you start to even it out to where it's back. It's more perpendicular. There you go. It's a little tricky.
It's weird because like my arms are long.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like I'm just feeling out where exactly it's going.
Yeah, you'll kind of get that once we're past.
Because here's the thing, like my arms are long, but the thing is short. That's why if I'm here, it's literally like coming.
Well, you may need a little longer.
That's because I'm it's just literally.
Because mine is a little, it's probably just about right. So you probably want yours a little longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like this extra.
That's actually kind of.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's actually not
so yeah, I just
get
used to it actually.
There's a difference from that. So see, this one's a little longer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So should I actually get used to coming that close to my face? Or it just comes with time, it's not something you can really explain.
Yeah, it comes with time. You'll get the feel of it where it just becomes autonomic. But I'm going to tell you two things that help with it. It's one is where your body's positioned. Two, how your body's moving. So if you're moving and pushing this forward, as opposed to swinging your arm, then it's going to be easier to control.
Oh, okay.
Also using your wrist as much as possible, rather than using the...
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Using the swing of the arm. Okay, so remember we had, we were doing strikes, like strike, strike, right? And then you were getting strike, strike.
Right.
Strike, strike.
Right.
And you can, it's kind of the same thing as what we were trying to hear, but we're actually going to go over the head this time. So it's a whoosh, 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 whoosh. So there's a little transition point from when it goes to strike
here,
over here.
Yes, yes.
This might help. Okay. This is another thing that I need to teach you.
Okay.
Okay, so we did over the head, just over the head, right? Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Okay, this one I don't like. I'm going to tell you that it's not my favorite thing to do. In a real fight, if I was using this, I would only do it by accident or necessity. It's this turning it in front.
Oh yeah, because it's coming like almost.
Yeah, so the figure eight goes up over and then in front.
Yeah.
Up over.
I can see how hard that is. Yeah, it's coming pretty close to your face.
Yeah, so you go over, front. The way to do this. There you go. Yeah. So when you're coming around, so around, down, round, down. It comes in front of your body. The only reason, that's why I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, that's why it's because it's coming to your opposite side almost. Yeah.
Yeah. So the reason why it's so cumbersome is because you're pulling it back into your body.
It's awkward. It's awkward.
Pushing it away and then pulling it back in, and you're like, oh crap. Okay, now I need to re-know the distance because I'm trying to pull it here.
Yeah. I see that because it's this back here this way. It's a pull. Coming to the left, it's a pull, right?
Yeah. Now go over the head, over in front, over. Actually, slow it down so you can do it slow without hurting yourself.
Okay.
We can do it this way. So over, front, and try to bring it in here. So you're going to need to bring your arm forward. So when you do this, okay. So let me show you this. So watch my arm goes forward as I do this, and I'll get it in the video. So I'm going around and then forward. I'm leaning forward.
Oh, okay.
Round and leaning forward. Now,
you're actually moving the wrist into it.
The only time I would use this personally, and I'm not going to do the backwards one to this, because the backwards one is even more crazy. It's so much easier to hit yourself because you're moving into it, right?
Yeah, it's like coming underneath.
Yeah. Now it does look cool, and here's feel what's happening when I do this.
Yes.
Right, when I advance on you. Shit.
Yeah.
Put my arm up.
Yeah.
Let me see that one.
Yes.
Because I'm going to pull it up a little bit. Just so you feel the intention. Because feeling the tension, then you can think of like where there might be a possibility of actually using it if you decide it needs to be there. So it's this. You're keeping them at bay, right? You're like, holy crap, I can't get in there. Right? It's in front of you. As opposed to this, where it's moving on the side.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not like I'm sticking something at you, right?
Yeah.
This, I'm coming at you.